I mean, it is called the S Pen, so it kind of makes sense that it's on the Galaxy S devices now. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my video on the brand new, sure to be somewhat polarizing Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. I know a ton of videos just came out regarding the new Samsung Unpacked announcements, so allow me to just express my gratitude that you came to watch mine. So, let's get into it. Yep, the S Pen is now literally a part of the Galaxy S series. Does this mean that the Note line is effectively dead? It might, but let me just say that I am alongside what I'm sure is a good many of you who will be sad to hear that news. Pour one out for the Galaxy Note line. It was the pioneer that brought the large form factor smartphone into the mainstream. And sure enough, the Galaxy S22 Ultra will continue that tradition. To be clear, the Ultra smartphone is definitely named accordingly because it gets all of the biggest and greatest features. It's also the largest of the bunch, coming in with a large dynamic AMOLED screen with a high resolution and high refresh rate at 120Hz. That large screen is going to be quite the canvas for all of the media consumption and gameplay. Now, obviously, in my limited time with the early devices, I wasn't able to install stuff like apps and games on them, so stay tuned for my thoughts on the daily experience when I get my review units, with games like Wild Rift, so subscribe to my channel for all of that. That large display is housed in a body that is super familiar. Actually, the entire Galaxy S22 lineup is a bit like a mashup of the Galaxy S21 smartphones, and then you get a little bit of a throwback to the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra that we had a while back. The Note 20 Ultra, despite its size, was one of the best phones of that year, so I'm not really complaining here. The design has been somewhat updated though, with the camera bump being basically eliminated in lieu of the lenses just being embossed into the backing of the phone. There are a few different colors of the Galaxy S22 Ultra, with this burgundy edition being the most unique looker. That white version definitely shines really brightly though. So now, the Galaxy S22 Ultra houses everything that you could ask for in a Samsung flagship, and these are things from across their historical catalog. That S Pen being nestled in the corner is familiar, but still admittedly feels kind of weird to do on a Galaxy S phone, but it's there, and it brings with it the entire S Pen software suite. Pen latency has been reduced even further than what it was back on the Note 20 Ultra, and every single feature returns, including the ability to write notes via screen-off memo. But the S Pen features go beyond just the precision and the writing and the doodling, because the pen makes a remote of sorts for various key functions. For content creators like me, the most important of these is controlling the camera. Yeah, you can hit the button to hit that shutter, but a press and wave of the wand can get to different modes and settings. Prop up the cameras of the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and then you have a way of snapping and recording anything even when far from the phone. Taking the S Pen on its own, it might not be a revelatory return for the stylus, but it is a whole new layer of usability that makes the Ultra in the name make even more sense. And that's especially considering everything else is at a top clip. The Galaxy S22 Ultra, alongside pretty much every other device in this season's Unpacked event, supports the newly named Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. That 4nm processor is sure to bring the power for up to 12GB of RAM, up to 1TB of storage, and a 5000 mAh battery that can be charged at up to 45 watts. Which brings us to those cameras, which has the 108 megapixel main sensor for pictures that are achieved by combining various things like pixel binning, multi-frame capture, and the super high resolution original capture all into one final shot. Now, I'm sure that the main sensor is going to be the way to go for both photos and videos. Videos can now be captured at up to 8K resolution, by the way. That being said, the other sensors should yield colorful, high-quality photos and videos that we've come to expect from Samsung. Those sensors include a 12-megapixel ultra-wide and two 10-megapixel telephoto shooters for different focal length captures of 3x and 10x. Of course, you can go hybrid because 100x space zoom is still available if you really want that far-reaching capability. And finally, the front-facing camera is a 40-megapixel shooter capable of 4K video capture, which you know I'm all about. Again, subscribe to my channel for further content on the Galaxy S22 Ultra because you know I'm going to be doing my rear-world camera test with that phone. So, the Ultra brings everything it possibly can to the highest tier flagship release. That's something we say every year, but as per usual, Samsung finds some sort of way to exceed expectations. I mean, who knew that the S Pen would be the way to do that? Again, this probably means that the Note line is in the wind, and Samsung will keep at the new lineups of the Galaxy S and Galaxy Fold and Flip lineups. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. You can also let me know what you think about the other Galaxy S22 devices. Whereas we got some really interesting new updates in the design of last year's phones, we see Samsung sticking to that with this latest release. Yeah, the Galaxy S22 and S22 Plus look just like the previous generation, but that might not really be a bad thing because last year's devices were really well received. What I will say is that the Galaxy S22 phones do seem a little bit thicker, a little bit heftier than last year's phones, with the sides even feeling a little flatter. That could make the base model even easier to handle, and I know a lot of people look to the base models of the Galaxy S devices as a great way of getting a premium smartphone without a large footprint. While the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 is still the heart of all of these phones, the rest of the spec sheets do size down proportionately. All of the camera hardware is updated from last year, but the main sensor is now a 50 megapixel shooter. The display is Full HD Plus, and the batteries are smaller while charging up at up to 25 watts. Time will tell whether or not the Galaxy S22 will be a worthy upgrade if you have a Galaxy S21 already, or even the Galaxy S21 FE that was just released and is a great value proposition still. But for anyone that hasn't upgraded in a little bit of time, Samsung continues to put out all the right specs and all the right features in their phones that make compelling cases in every price bracket. The S Pen madness still doesn't end though, and it definitely doesn't end with the phones. Samsung also brought tablets to Unpacked. I don't have much to say about the tablets because I was focused on the phone, so I didn't have a whole lot of time with them, but let me know if you want me to check out the Galaxy Tab S8 lineup by hitting the like button and letting me know in the comments. The Galaxy Tab tablets have long been a great place for large screen experiences in the Android world, but Samsung has done a great job of making the experience pretty unique with features like AMOLED screens, the S Pen of course, and Samsung DeX. Now, I'm personally excited to get the new tablets because DeX actually makes the Android experience easier to fathom on these larger displays. Samsung didn't hold back once again though. Ultra comes to the Galaxy Tab S8 lineup in the form of a massive 14.6-inch tablet. 14.6. That's larger than even the laptop that I'm using to edit this video right now. That's pretty insane. A canvas that big is sure to be an incredible place to watch content, play games, and write or draw to your heart's content with this larger version of the S Pen that sits right behind the tablet in a magnetic spot and within the standing case. By the way, that keyboard on the book cover did feel pretty good actually, and will probably be nice for some script writing. Personally speaking, 14.6 might be a little much. The Ultra is just nuts, but I'm even down to get the Galaxy Tab S8 Plus. That one is at 12 inches, but it also has an AMOLED screen. The smallest Tab S8 doesn't have an AMOLED screen, but the non-Ultra variants do also come in funner colors, so there is that too. If the Ultra experience in your pocket isn't enough, maybe blowing it up to what could be a great big screen home base could be the ticket for those of you who just want more. And so there you have it, a look at the many devices that Samsung brought out during their Unpacked event. The S Pen makes its triumphant return in the Galaxy S22 Ultra, but it's making its presence known in way more places beyond that. On the smartphone side, it's basically as if Samsung knows that their current formulas are still working to great effect. The Galaxy S22 phones echo last year's well-regarded flagships, and the Galaxy S22 Ultra is honestly a welcome callback to the last Galaxy Note device we got and potentially the last one we'll ever get. Let me know how you feel about all of Samsung's releases in the comments, and subscribe to my channel for all of the coverage on these upcoming devices. From there, I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one though. Thank you so much for watching, please take care of yourselves and each other, and enjoy your tea everybody.